press people button. Nobody chat come face me with something. Like how me have 22 in a me something. Then I feel so forget the next 1,000 fool. Press trigger me no press people button. Nobody chat come face me with something. Like how me have 22 in a me something. Then I feel so forget the next 1,000 fool. Anytime you ready put now we see start war. See who the fist spread it out but from the
style is the bomb, the dang, diggy diggy. A room boy don't play with the bomb, the dang, diggy diggy. My style is the bomb, the dang, diggy diggy. A room boy don't play with the bomb, the dang, diggy diggy.
Go now we sit down and I watch your man a live. Watch your man a own now who a roll big. Sit down and a plan fi come put man for fridge. Remember when you dig hole that hole you fi dig. Certain little boy we have stop deal with. Kids say them a friend and them bad mind
my
me friend.
style is the bomb, the dang, diggy.
Hi, okay, to start off, I've always loved reading, and it's always been a really big hobby with me since I've been very young. And it's just, I love reading because you're able to escape like your own world and just dive into the world of the authors and completely forget who you are and where you are for those few moments or for long moments. And also I've always traveled with the book, whether it's like to the beach or to the mall or to a shop or a restaurant. Like I've always had a book with me. And I remember when I was younger, whenever we would go anywhere, like to a shop, let's say, and my parents would bring me in, and obviously I'd be really bored, and I would just go in a corner and just read forever, and they would have no idea where I'd be, and they would have to keep calling my name because I would never hear them as I would be so like into my book. And yeah, so reading has been a really big hobby for me for a really long time. And as I said before, I started when I was pretty young, maybe just a little bit because my sister, she always read those really big books, and I just wanted to catch up to her and just prove that I could also read just like her. So, but also because I sparked an early passion of reading. And also right now, especially since I entered high school, reading has become a really big stress reliever for myself, as for those moments, for the time that you are reading, I can completely forget about all my worries about schoolwork, about grades, and just dive into the author's world and just forget who I am. Alright, so reading has changed for me a lot over the years since I was younger and was able to read every night for an hour. So I've just realized that with my time schedule, with just balancing with other activities and sports and grades and schoolwork, I don't have time like that anymore. And this makes me sad because I miss those constant daily reads. And pretty much what I do now, since I'm not able to read every night, usually whenever I go out on some kind of trip, either to like a restaurant or I'm just in the car, I always have a book with me, and that's where I get most of my reading done, unfortunately. This actually helps too because I'm a fast reader, so I can get more reading done in like a short span time, I guess. Yeah. And also, I'm actually scared to read every single night if I tried, because once I start getting into a book, I can't really stop. So if I tried reading every night, I probably wouldn't get any homework done. So that's why I try to limit myself, actually. But that's why I've actually read The Tales of Beedle and Bard by J.K. Rowling, and it's just a collection of like short stories. Therefore, I can just read like one story a night and convince myself that that's all I should read and really should get to bed. So that's worked out for me successfully, and hopefully I'll start to read more short stories in the future, and therefore I can like read more every night, even if it's smaller text. So I do feel like I have changed as a reader from first semester to second semester, and also just like over a course of time. I feel like in terms of my schedule, my time for reading has decreased a lot, and thus I haven't been able to read all the books that I've wanted to, but that's just what happens when schoolwork and grades and other activities come into play. And in terms of like the different types of genres I like to read now, I used to aim towards more like realistic fiction, fantasy, and science fiction, and now I'm more into fantasy, mystery, and historical fiction. And I think this is because I've recently just latched on to a bunch of mystery writers such as Agatha Christie and Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and they've published a lot of books and a lot of series, and thus I haven't been satisfied with all the books I've read, so I just keep on reading their books. And also, I do believe that I have always challenged myself. In 6th grade, I did read Pride and Prejudice, well, half of it, and the thing that I think has changed with me is that I think now, rather than always challenging myself, I've kind of gone into phases where like I read really hard books, really long books, but I only read these books when I have a lot of time, and then I'll kind of delve down, and then when I have less time, I'll read shorter books and books that aren't as hard or require too much thinking. And that's how I have kind of maintained my reading schedule. Alright, to change as a reader, I want to do different things, such as I want to start reading every other night or every night, so I can just start reading more again. And I want to start reading different types of texts, such as short stories and poems. I've never really read these type of texts much, and hopefully these types of texts, generally them being shorter, maybe will help me read more every night. Also, I want to start reading more classic books, such as Pride and Prejudice, because I think I understand more universal themes more, and thus I think I will be able to read these kind of books and fully understand them.